Hi, I'm Liam the Plumber and welcome to the Fisher ToolBox Talk on cavity fixing. Today I will be showing you just the cavity fixings from the Fisher DuoLine range. A cavity fixing, as suggested by the name, is a fixing type that works in a hollow environment. This is different to our expansion type fixings where a solid substrate is required to create the pressure and grab between the fixing and the material. The Fisher DuoLine cavity fixings work in all board type materials, and this is for every product that I'm going to talk about today. Whether you are fixing into standard gypsum plasterboard, fiberboard, wooden panels, or plastic boards, these cavity fixings have you covered. Each of the fixings that we will show today sit within the DuoLine family. This is because each of the fixings uses two-component technology within the product to increase installer usability and its performance. Right, so let's get into the products. First up, we have the DuoBlade. The DuoBlade is an innovative new take on the old style self-drilling plasterboard fixing like this. However, Fisher have improved on this design by adding an aggressive 3-point tip that allows the user to perfectly center the fixing and cut a small hole into the board material without any wandering or pre-drilling. This gives you a super quick start to your application and incredible accuracy. It will even cut through double layer plasterboard and fiberboard. The serrated wings on the fixings then help to cut and drive the fixing into the board material, giving you a much quicker and more secure installation. These can be installed by hand using a normal PZ2 screwdriver or using an electric screwdriver with a PZ2 bit. When fixing your plate or fixture to the board, you can use any type of screw, making sure the screw is long enough to go through your plate thickness, board, and also protrude out of the end of the DuoBlade. These fixings work with diameter 4 to 5 millimeters. Now is when the Duo technology really comes to life. As you install your screw, rather than turning the fixing or simply sitting inside the fixing, as per the traditional product, the DuoBlade actually starts to expand within the plasterboard. As you complete the full insertion of the screw, the cutting tip will drop off into the cavity and the fixing will be fully expanded. The beauty with these fixings is that you can really feel when the fixing is installed and it's almost impossible to over tighten. Due to the expansion and cutting power of the DuoBlade, you get 2 times the load levels than the traditional metal self-drilling holding 10 kilos per fixing in 12.5mm standard plasterboard. Next is my favorite and go-to for hanging rads, the DuoTec. Now you might think this looks like a toggle fixing you've seen many times before, but you are wrong. This is something completely different and uses the DuoLine 2-component technology to create a really safe and secure product that can really take the stress of heavy loads. The main difference between the two is the hole size, 10mm and 12mm. The loads it can take, the 12 taking higher loads, and the 12 has a full metal plate within the fixing, allowing you to use machine screws. This is particularly helpful when you're installing brackets for anything with a heavy load. Right, the DuoTec 10. This fixing uses the well-known Fisher 2-component technology to both increase the load-bearing capacity of the fixing and to spread the load placed on the fixing across the back of the plasterboard. Now this might not sound like much, but under extreme pressure, some fixings can cut into or damage the back of the board. That then weakens the overall integrity of the area and can result in failures. With either the DuoTec 10 or 12, they can be used in multiple board materials, as long as there is a cavity behind a 40 or 50mm respectively, and can be used with variable thicknesses up to 55mm, such as double skin board or even chipboard or OSB. The DuoTec range creates its grab by causing pressure between the board and the fixing itself by using its innovative clip method that is ingenious when you see it in action. To install one of these, all you need is a 10mm drill bit and a screw in 4.5 to 5mm diameter. Again, same as the DuoBlade, make sure the screw length is long enough to go through your plate thickness, board thickness, and to protrude out of the end of the DuoTec. So first, you drill a 10mm hole. Fold back the DuoTec in the direction of this handy arrow and push through the hole. Using the other hand, slide the white clip down and press into the board. You'll notice 2 little white cutting wings on the edge of this sliding clip. This clip both cuts into the board, making the initial fix more secure, but then sits within the board material itself which increases the shear load of the fixing. Pull the strap tight and snap off. Now the easy part. Install the screw using a normal screwdriver or an electric screwdriver and wait until you can feel the pressure build behind the board. As you install the screw, the threads of the screw actually clip behind the metal parts within the fixing to create the pressure. And you're done. Easy, quick, and this fixing can really hold superior loads. The two parts we spoke about before, the softer grey part actually spreads the load behind the boards, whilst the harder red part and the metal clips create the high loads that I love about these fixings. With these, you can drill a much smaller drill hole compared to other high load plasterboard fixings, and they are so much easier to install. Each of these fixings will safely take 20 kg per fixing, and that's in standard 12.5mm plasterboard. In double skim areas, one of these will hold 43 kg per fixing. To watch how these are used to install radiators and TV brackets, check out the Fischer YouTube channel for some handy how-to videos. Finally, we have the latest addition to the DuoLine party, the DuoHM. This beauty here is the new innovation from the Fischer team. This is a modern, updated take on the old style umbrella fixings. Now, we all know the problems with these. You need a setting tool, they spin, they over tighten, or they cut and damage the back of the board material. Well, not anymore. Fischer have taken the concept of the umbrella fixing and added their DuoLine take on it. The fixing itself now looks very different to the old style. However, it still works in a very similar way. As you can see, the fixing has four very separate parts: the metal cage, the internal webbing, the red screw sleeve, and the grey lip. Now, all of these play a very important part to the fixing in different ways. Let's start with the easy part, the metal sleeve. Upon screw insertions, the metal sleeve folds back like the umbrella fixing of old and presses against the panel. This then creates part of the load-bearing capacity of the fixing and that tight feel. Differently, with the DuoHM, one size can fit many board material sizes. The metal part just folds in a different section, meaning all you need to choose is diameter. This will work in a panel thickness up to 30mm, which is a huge advantage when you are selecting a fixing. Now, at the same time as the metal part folding back, the internal webbing is also activating. The grey nylon web knots behind the board material, very similar to the way the DuoPower would work. This nylon part knots behind the board material to increase the load-bearing capability and the stability of the fixing. The red screw sleeve is a nylon screw locator that is glass fibre reinforced. This helps grab the screw and creates maximum stability for your fixing. Last but not least, we have the nylon lip. This section of the fixing has been designed with the anti-rotation fins to lock the fixing in place and prevents damage to the board material. The fixing profile is also much slimmer and smaller, so it can be easily hidden when items are fixed in situ. This is really important when hanging heavy objects in a nicely decorated house, and it's just awful to see the fixing that had been used protruding outside of that fixture. As I said before, these fixings come in various diameters, so please check which size you are using before choosing the drill bit size. We are using the M5 DuoHM, so we will be using a 10mm drill bit. First, drill your 10mm hole, then insert the DuoHM without the screw part attached. Now place your fixture over the DuoHM and insert the screw. The DuoHM will actually take any metric thread screw in the correct diameter, allowing you to choose between any head type, such as hex or countersunk. Today, we are using pan head screws, which come as standard with the DuoHM. Making sure that the screw has found the bottom locator sleeve, start to wind in the screw. No need for any extra tools here, such as a setting tool like the old style. Continue to wind in the screw until you feel the pressure on the board or your screwdriver locks out. Now, during this time, the internal web will have knotted behind the board, adding stability and loads power, whilst the metal sleeve will have folded back and put pressure on the backside of the board. Fischer state that using the DuoHM can save you up to 50% on installation time against traditional methods of installation. For me, it's the simplicity. You cannot get this wrong, and the feeling of the anchor upon setting that really makes the product for me. This product is so simple, anyone can now hang heavy loads in plasterboard with no issue at all, even with no previous expertise. When I say heavy, I mean heavy. One of these fixings will hold between 20 to 40 kg per fixing, depending on the board in use. Thanks for watching the Fischer Toolbox talk on cavity fixing. It's been exciting today to bring you a totally new product to you. I've been Liam the plumber, the fixings have been Fischer, and please make sure you check out our other videos in the series or our how-to series on YouTube.